it's not your job to do the work for your clients, but the way that you give coaching advice can make all the difference. Hi, my name is Lily, and I'm a director of training and coach development at Body Brain Alliance, and I also have quite a few years in the behavior change coaching space. Today, I want to walk you through 3 different strategies that are going to make all the difference in how you give feedback to clients to help them adhere to their new behaviors and goals and ultimately reach success. Giving effective coaching advice can be really tough sometimes. Everyone is really individual. Everyone comes with their own obstacles, resistance, motivations, excitement. And we also have to keep in mind that behavior can be very complex. What might not be a problem or an obstacle now may be one in the future, and vice versa. As a coach, we want to be present, we want to be ready, we want to be prepared to guide and motivate our clients in their own decision making for long-term sustainable changes. Giving effective coaching advice is not based on the following. How fit you are, how many certifications you have, how motivating you are, how often you give pep talks, if you have six-pack abs, if you felt like you've lived in their exact shoes. All of those things can sometimes help, but it doesn't make you automatically a great coach. What makes you a great coach is your ability to care, to empathize, as well as various skills like motivational interviewing to guide and discuss with your clients on helping them make autonomous decisions. The first strategy in effective coaching communication and advice is going to be encouraging and supporting autonomy. So when you are working with clients, it's normal for them to look at you as their coach, as an expert. You probably have a wealth of knowledge. You've probably experienced a lot of what they have, as well as built up your skill set in communication and effective planning over time. But that doesn't necessarily mean that you should give them all of the answers. We want to understand that even if there are similarities in what your clients are experiencing with what you have in the past and successfully overcame, you can integrate some of that relatedness in conversations while still understanding that your client is going to have a unique experience. Everyone feels differently, thinks differently, approaches things differently, so we want to treat it just that, unique and individual. So when we are having conversations with clients, we want to always keep in mind that they are in the driver's seat of their decisions, that we can give all of the advice and opinions and education that we want, but at the end of the day, it's up to them on what they choose to do. So instead of facing resistance as yourself as a coach and feeling frustrated as to why your clients are not doing what you think they should be doing, we want to lead with the idea that they are ultimately in charge of any decision or action that they make. You want to be alongside them as a coach to guide them, to help them plan for those obstacles, to feel super confident in moving forward, but also allowing them the space and opportunity to come up with their own solutions, to come up with their own ideas, to come up with their own strategies and plan on how they might effectively and successfully reach their goals. Of course, you are there to fill in the gaps. If there is a misunderstanding or maybe a need for some education, you are there, you are ready, you are prepared. But the best resource that you can be for your clients is supportive alongside them through their behavior change journey and allowing them to experiment with what is going to work for them. This also allows them to have long-term lasting change, because when they are able to have a safe space with you to come up with their own ideas and strategies and work with you collaboratively to overcome those obstacles and prepare accordingly, when they have success and when they get to celebrate their wins, they take ownership of that, which is exactly what we want clients to do. We don't want clients to give us all of the credit for their success. An effective coach, a successful coach, is able to acknowledge that the work that the clients are putting in is theirs. And that really is supportive of long-term change, because then our clients are more likely to keep up with that work and continue down that path without feeling so heavily reliant on our presence to keep their changes. Strategy number 2 with effective coaching advice is going to be open-ended questions. If you are familiar with motivational interviewing, this falls under the OERs, which is open-ended questions, affirmations, reflections, and summaries. Open-ended questions are questions that start with what, or when, or where, kind of like the 5 W's. How even falls within that category as well. We want to be able to ask curious questions that give us the most information and allow our clients to almost storytell. They can tell us some additional information around what they are experiencing. They can tell us more about the details of those obstacles they faced or what they did to overcome and reach that success. And it is a lot less work for us as a coach instead of asking closed-ended questions. When we ask, did you do this? Or did you do that? Or did you feel good about that? It kind of boxes a client in on what they can really provide you as a response, which creates a lot more work for you as a coach to ask more questions and get more answers. It ends up feeling like a little bit of a tug of war during the entire conversation. By simply leading with the how did your week go? Or tell me a little bit about how you overcame that obstacle, we get a lot more information. We can start to understand what the client's thoughts and feelings were during those moments, and ultimately what their decisions were that led to that outcome. This gives you a lot more evidence, a lot more information as a coach to then further assist them in what those next steps might be. This also provides you the opportunity to let the client know that you care, that you are curious about their experience and what they have to say, that the information and the answers to your questions are interesting and that they matter. And when the client feels supported, when they feel heard, when they feel like you are actively listening in those conversations, they are much more likely to think about what changes and actions and steps they want to take for that long-term change. Strategy number 3 is active listening. It's being able to be fully present in the moments and in the conversations that you are having with clients. You are not typing a message to someone else while you are chatting with them. You aren't looking at your phone or eyes wandering. You are giving them your full undivided attention because your time with them, you are demonstrating through active listening, is just as valuable to you as it is for them. Not only does this help the client feel grounded and safe, like I mentioned, and also heard, it also allows the client to build trust for you, that they can open up, that it's okay to talk, it's okay to share their experience, and that you are holding a non-judgmental space for them. Active listening can also incorporate another part of those OERs, which is reflections. So when a client is describing their week and maybe an obstacle that they faced, maybe their goal was to cook at home 3 days out of the week and eat out less, but they realized that they didn't go grocery shopping in time, so then they didn't have the things in their house to make the meals. They don't feel super great about this. They're telling you that they feel kind of frustrated and even disappointed in themselves. By utilizing active listening and incorporating reflections here, we can kind of pull out some of the feelings and the thoughts that we think our client may be experiencing. Again, to build that new level of trust and that new level of understanding that you are listening and you hear them. So for example, a client may say, I'm feeling really frustrated. I'm really mad at myself because I said I was going to go grocery shopping on Sunday, but the day just got away from me. I didn't go, and therefore I had nothing in my house to make my lunches for the week. And I ended up eating out when I said I wasn't going to. Maybe as a coach, you say something along the lines of, you feel really disappointed because that goal was really important for you to eat more vegetables and save money. And you felt like because you didn't have an opportunity to go grocery shopping and have those resources in the house, that it made it that much harder to follow through with it for the days afterwards. It's very similar to what the client had said, but it's letting the client know that you hear them, that you care, and adding in your own interpretation of how they may be feeling. This then gives the client an opportunity to say, yes, exactly, that's how I feel, and then usually provide more information. Or if somewhere you miss the mark, which is totally normal and okay, as coaches, we make mistakes, we mishear or misinterpret, the client can then use that as an opportunity to clarify and be like, well, not necessarily, but this instead. So it allows you to make sure that you are on the same page and collaborate effectively to move forward in the conversation and the planning phase. All three of these strategies sets you up for being able to give effective coaching advice. You are actively listening, you are promoting and supporting their autonomy. You are asking open-ended questions for information, so that way you can collaboratively make a plan on how to move forward so that they can reach their goals, engage in their behaviors more often. If you found this helpful, make sure you give this video a thumbs up and send it to another coach who can really benefit from this information. Sign up for our email list if you haven't already. We often share behavior change tips that can help you in your own journey as well as your clients. And we will see you in the next video.